Paul Rusesabagina, the subject of Oscar-nominated film Hotel Rwanda portraying his life-saving actions during the Rwandan genocide, is now facing many years in prison for terror-related crimes.
Nearly 2 decades ago he presented himself as an ordinary man who happened to be caught up in extraordinary times.
The Rwandan former hotel manager, 67, is credited with saving the lives of more than 1,000 people during the genocide.
Over the course of 100 days, starting in April 1994, about 800,000 people, mostly ethnic Tutsis, were massacred by extremists from the Hutu community.
As Rusesabagina, a Hutu married to a Tutsi, described in his autobiography, An Ordinary Man, it was his ability to persuade the killers against targeting those who had sought refuge in the Hotel Mille Collines that spared them.
He was also able to use his connections and call in favors with some of the high-profile people who used to pass through the upmarket hotel. In addition, he had cash.
In one passage he writes about the hotel being surrounded by hundreds of militia, holding spears, machetes, and rifles, shortly after he was told he had to evacuate the building.
It would be a killing zone. In an hour, he concluded. He then got on the phone and spoke to as many senior officials as he could, one of whom called off the attack.
He always maintained that it was what he said that made the difference.
Words can be powerful tools of life, he wrote in his 2006 book, but now they have landed him in prison.
Rusesabagina, who left Rwanda in 1996, went from hero to enemy of the state in a short time as his criticism of the post-genocide government grew louder. It gradually morphed into calls for regime change.
In a video message in 2018, he was recorded as saying that, "The time has come for us to use any means possible to bring about change in Rwanda. As all political means have been tried and failed, it is time to attempt our last resort."
By that point he was the leader of an opposition coalition in exile, the Rwanda Movement for Democratic Change. Its armed wing, the National Liberation Front, had been accused of carrying out attacks in Rwanda earlier in 2018.